Hey, it's recording. It's live, Arnaud.
Oh,
All right. Okay, so I wanted to help people understand what they should be doing when they're sick. So tell people what you think they should be doing when they feel sick.
well, first you don't say I am sick. You always program your mind to say I'm healthy, I am amazing, I feel great, I feel energetic. Anything that you can actually think of that will
Yeah.
boost your mind instead of feeling like blah.
Absolutely. And would you suggest people that are sick to feel the need to be dependent to go to the doctors or hospital right now, and why?
No, absolutely not. They don't need to. Um, in my case right now, I am energetic, I am healthy, and all I do is meditate. I heal my body myself. You just have to find the right tools to be able to do it for yourself. No doctor is going to heal you. No doctor is going to give you a magic pill to make you feel better, because they're all suppressants. They all just kill your cells more. It makes you sick more. Your immune goes down more. You
That's
know,
right.
you make the right, because of you always make those concoctions of the shots for, any kind of scenario when we feel we need it, right? So real good herbal options are there as well.
Absolutely. And when you wake up in the morning, what do you do? What do you listen to? Meditation? Do you watch podcasts? What do you do? What's your morning routine look like?
So the first and foremost thing is I say to the universe, God, angels, whoever you believe or I believe in, that I'm grateful, that I'm thankful, that I have everything, and that I don't need to feel that I'm lacking in any way. And then I'm grateful and thankful my family as well, and the people out there are well, and the ones that are going through whatever they're going through are going to be well.
Yeah,
That's always my prayers.
the
That's my
power of
first thing.
belief, the power of faith, the power of belief, the power of knowing, having that intention and that desire of will, right? We all have a fighting chance. If you think you can or you think you can, either way, you're right. So if you think we're not going to make it through this, you're not going to make it through this. If you start feeling negative, you're just repeating a cycle of toxic. It's going to be toxic. It's going to remain in your head. So it's daily practices. Now, Naz, how long do you practice for? What is it? A daily practice? Is it like always on, like ongoing?
It's a must. It's a must. There's, even if you don't do it a day, you
Yeah.
fall off your wagon, you're on a different path right away. You have to say those things. And then the next thing I do is I put a meditation on, and I calm my mind, and I just enjoy the day. I
Yeah.
take my life one day at a time. I always look for the future. I always manifest the future, of course.
Right.
That's something I'll do, always do with you and the family. But I always take it one day at a time, and I meditate. I give myself at least 5 minutes, because with our kids, it's not that
Yeah.
easy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, it is easy, but you just need to have that downtime to do it. So I just do it in the morning before I get out of bed. I think because for myself, right now in the situation we are in,
Yeah.
I'm very energetic, up and ready to go and conquer the world. And I want to feel the same while we're at home. So that's something I'm working on as well, where I get up to be able to get up and just conquer the world in the house,
How
whether.
do
Mhm.
how do people handle setbacks, and what does it look like if you, I'm going to post this, if you were to advise people who want real change in their lives, can you speak a little bit about like 5 years ago, the mindset that we had, and how our mindset is now and how we're handling and dealing with life and how it's come to be into fruition. Everything, every manifestation, every desire, every intention, everything we eliminated, everything when it comes to health. Just share a little bit about that as well, because a lot of people need to know what we're doing, because I created this group because of how I can help people and what I'm doing as my daily practice and how I influence my family and my clients around the world. The people that I give structure to is the same structure that I implemented into my own life. So just kind of share that. What do you do? What have you been doing?
So just going back to step by what you're saying is, first of all, I was open to wanting change in my life. That was my very first step with you. And because of your you're patient with me and your teachings and everything that you've done and dealt with my personality change, first and foremost, I needed to be able to be open to that.
So share a little bit
And then,
about what you had to be open. Surrender a little bit. Tell people about emotions, about stress, anxiety, fear, about money, about health, your mindset, your anxiety, your depression. Talk about that a little bit.
so 6 years ago, I was just doing a 9-to-5 job. So I was living in a very, I don't know what word I can use, but I was living in a very repetitive life. So you get up, you go to work, drop kids off, blah blah blah, come home, cook, clean, lay down, go to bed. Never
Right.
educated myself. I never even thought of educating myself or looking at what is out there to learn. And you know, it just brought me to a point where you had brought up, there's a lot of things that we need to change about ourselves. And first and foremost was my emotions, and the way as a person I had to accept and take ownership a lot. I'm still learning that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
What are some steps? So every
Well,
new thing you mention, give a breakdown a little bit for people as you're overcoming it. So when it came to emotion, what was it about your emotions? What were you doing? How were you reacting to life? Were you reacting to food and finances? And then what did you have to implement to get over it and overcome and become a new you, a new personal reality? What did you do? And how did I help you?
well, first and foremost, I always depended on my paycheck because I thought that's all I'm going to get. So I had limited beliefs. So you helped me with that, thinking uh, having a limited belief will only keep you at a certain amount in your life. So for me to learn that, I needed to open up and really do a lot of work on how to be able to just be happy with what I have rather than uh, always stressing out. I have bills to pay, I have rent to pay, I have this to pay. I
Right.
don't do that anymore. I don't allow those things to even stress me out, because no matter what, if you have the belief, the universe will provide.
How did it turn from fear to hope and a willingness to
Your
not
guidance,
fear?
your guidance, your
So what did
everyday
that look like?
guidance,
What did
your
the guidance look
everyday
like?
reminders, your everyday, it's not easy to always be what
On
is the
top
word
of
I'm
your
looking for?
emotions?
Yeah, like it's not easy for me to always be like, oh, okay, I'm stressing, I'm not going to stress. Because of the fact that you were always on top of it, you noticed it, and you would just remind me. It helped me remind myself that, oh yeah, if my partner or my friend or my mom, whoever, right, may the case
Yeah.
be, but in our case, if
Anybody
my partner
supporting you.
is, yeah, if my partner, the person who was more worse in stressing and finances, is telling me, don't worry, it's going to be fine, like it's all right, look what's happened so far in the past 5 years, look how the growth we've done. Those kind of reminders really help. So when you want to have that change, when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Yeah.
you're gonna do everything and anything to change yourself. to
Yeah,
change your future.
absolutely.
So financially, it's funny because we just spoke about this last night, how I was telling you, if we
Yeah,
were to look at ourselves 5 years in the past, we would be stressing and yelling at each other and
yeah,
getting mad at each other and
yeah,
fighting with each other.
yeah.
But the fact that we get up and we're happy every day is such an amazing, blissful thing for me and my family. I mean, yeah, you know, I go a little crazy here and there with the kids and stuff, but financially it's a blessing. It's a blessing, whatever we're getting, whatever you're providing for our family, whatever um, the universe provides, it's a blessing because we've never had, not once since the day we've started to change till now, any negative impacts in our lives. It's always been a positive impact, right? Because we always took our negative situations and we changed it to a positive situation, or else
Right.
we wouldn't be where we are now,
Talk
in
a
a
little bit
beautiful
about
home.
how thoughts become things and how our thought patterns in the past and our personal reality in the past was just kind of happening. So it was happening to us. If I felt doubt, if I felt scarcity, if I, like talk about how our thoughts were happening, and then how when we changed our mindset and our visions and our output, the things that started to attract to us. Give some good points, just a kind of 2 minutes about real impactful things of how where we were and what has come.
So we had a very rough patch in our relationship. We've had a lot of ups and downs. We've been through a washer and a dryer together, right? And the one thing I can say that people can take away from this is every time we had our down times, I used to always write about what I wanted you as my partner, like what kind of personalities, what kind of things. And those kind of things started changing on its own. So, for example, you're understanding way more, you're compassionate way more, you are teaching us, guiding us, every day. The fact that you help so much with the family, those are the kind of things that I wanted in my partner. And because I kept writing it and kept wanting it and kept just taking the positivity out of it, it started to happen.
What about food? Like, okay, relationship is good, and I appreciate you sharing that. Now, what about like mindset when it comes to people transitioning their health, their mindset, their spiritual set?
Okay. Well, for me, for example, after having our daughter, I was drinking milk like 2 glasses a day. I was eating sweets like crazy because I thought in my mind, because I just had a kid, I had every right to just eat whatever I wanted and indulge in anything I wanted. And when you decided to take that step and say, hey, you know what, this needs to stop. Like everything in the pantry has to go. You did it, and the first initial thing in my mind was, you're doing the right thing. You're not doing it to hurt me, or you're not doing it because it's unhealthy or it's healthy. You're doing it because it's unhealthy and you want to make a change. And I wasn't at that point. And
Right.
so your guidance with intermittent fasting was really difficult. But my I had to take myself and really think about it. Why would you, as a coach, as whatever, as a mentor, as a partner, as a friend, as a family member, anything, why would you implement these in my life if you weren't thinking about my well-being?
I know it
So,
was hard and emotional to rid you of bread and milk and stuff, but the knowledge and education behind it is what sets you free. Talent showing you the 20 ingredients in the breads we used to buy without knowledge and information. We were just eating food mindlessly. We weren't eating consciously and mindful. being mindful about what
Very
we're eating.
true.
So when we became
Very true.
mindful, we know what ingredients, how it impacts our health and our livelihood, right? So when it came to milk, how animals are treated, how cows are mass produced, how the babies are taken away from the cows, and how they're already lactating, they're hormonal, and then they're injected with more hormones to lactate. So it was knowledge and information that set us free. But one thing I want to ask Jessica was, what are some things that you wanted to face again? I know the other day we were talking, and you wanted to talk about self-sabotage, and you wanted to bring up some things. So we can talk about that now, and some
Mhm.
things I can relate to and Naz can relate to, but just share something real quick about some emotions that you are struggling with.
Well, last night I was able to go, like, for the 5 minutes, get up. I woke up at like 3 in the morning, and that's when I started to do some of the skin talk that we talked about.
Yeah.
And I did it until I fell asleep, and so I feel like I'm on a better path with that. But
Yeah.
typically it's like, if it was like say like 5 years ago, like you talked about before, 5 years ago, I would have been like in my bed, like, I don't want to see the world, like, I am ugly, like, I don't, like, it's self-talk, negative self-talk that got
Yeah.
nowhere. And now it's different, and it's like, it's changing.
Right. So, for example, I remember as a guy, I was 220 pounds, and I looked so unattractive in the mirror being naked. And I always wanted to look attractive in the mirror being naked. I'm like, I don't look attractive. Like, this is not going well for me, and I don't feel good. And, even my skin pigmentation, and I had a lot of acne growing up as a kid. I spent thousands of dollars on dermatologists. I had like acne scars, and I had pigmentation, and I had scabs, and I had so much. So I can relate with self-image. I suffered with self-image since early on, like 14 years old, since I was addicted to crack and cocaine and drugs, and it affected my skin because I was so focused on doing drugs that I didn't even clean my skin. So I started breaking out, and I got those deep, thick pimples from underneath your skin that they're not on the surface, so you can't pop it. You can feel it within your cheek, and they were huge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? Too little, too late. I didn't take care of my skin, take care of myself. So I became mindful and started buying products, and then it transitioned to all this money I'm wasting, all this product I'm wasting, to be natural. Just eliminate everything. Just use water, warm water, a washcloth. And I started cleaning myself, and things started working, cleansing. Then I wouldn't go out in the sun anymore, and my skin started naturally exfoliating and peeling, and I used St. Ives and stuff. And then the years went on, and I started learning about affirmations and mirror talk and stuff like that way later in life. So from 17 to 23, I didn't know about all this stuff that I'm teaching now. So when I got after my car accident, 23 years old, I started realizing the power of our self-image and our self-worth and the way people portray us. And yes, what you wear, people judge you based on what you wear. People judge you based on how you look. If I look ugly today and go for a job interview, they're going to treat me like that. But if I look fresh and beautiful and I go to that same job interview, they're going to treat me differently and treat me better. So I started saying, you know what? I don't care what other people think. Let me just focus on my self-image and my health and the way I feel. So I sent myself love and gratitude, and I felt good about who I am, and that I discovered my looks. And I'm like, look, I know I got to fix this. And I looked myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? This is what I visualized. I visualized clean skin. And I did the acts in that process. So you have to change. I changed my health. I changed what I was using in my skin. I threw out everything that I used to use. Like I tried Proactive. I forgot the names of all the chemicals I used to put on my skin. So the first thing is stop using chemicals. Chemicals have ingredients in there that don't serve your skin a service at all. So don't use chemicals on your skin. And secondly, the self-love talk that you're doing, will build so much confidence in you that you're naturally going to start changing the way you look at life and you look at yourself, and you're going to feel better, and your spirit and emotional connection is going to actually change, and it's going to unfold. I looked myself in the mirror about a year ago when I was 220 pounds, and I visualized myself of what I wanted to look like. I should have probably pictured a huge muscular guy, but I pictured this, and it happened. It happened. It literally happened. So do the work, and do it with your health, your mindset, and your spiritual work, and the things that you intake, your health, like dairy. I don't know if you drink milk, but ask me questions. Dairy will put you in inflammation, and it actually bloats you up and stays in your body, water weight and inflammation. It doesn't help you digest. It's horrible for your health, because dairy, especially from mass production, from the corporations, the way they treat the animals, the injections they give the cows, it goes in the milk, and they're stressed. So what happens to us? We drink milk, the stress goes in our body. We get inflamed, and we get acne, and we break out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
But like Naz said, I don't know if I could properly do it at first.
Can I say something?
Like earlier when you were talking about how hard it was to do the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it was in the beginning difficult, because my mindset was, how am I going to do this? I've never starved myself for that long. So starvation was in my mind. That's one thing you have to limit. You can't think of it as starvation. You have to think of it as your immune system is going to be way better off. Your health, you're energetic, your mind is way better off, and the things that Malcolm always provides to me is, education and knowledge. The fact that, how did our ancestors live? They only ate once in a day, or probably in a few days. We don't know, right? But that's how, I have to start programming my mind.
Yeah.
Is that I'm not solely just eating. Like, what is food? It's not to eat 3 meals a day, or 3 meals and 3 snacks, as for what I thought losing weight would have been a great thing to do. But me just doing intermittent fasting and dedicating myself and changing my mindset changed my body and my health. Because there's been, times where other people would have something going on, and I would just keep my mind at a focus where I would heal my mind, and I would, feel good, because my immune system was way better.
So
There was not, in the past, there was not once where I would never be sick. In a year, I'd be sick two times in a year. And now it's been a year and a half. And this is my first interaction of just a minute point, if that helps.
So to add to that, Naz and Jessica, so the knowledge and the information behind it that I had to give to Naz, like I gave her the work to do. She did the work. It was stressful. It was hard, but she pushed through. When I started giving her more knowledge and information, for example, there's a chemical reaction that happens through our spinal cord fluid that it's our gut bacteria. So there's viruses and microbes and bacteria, and there's a huge community in our gut. So it's not our brain. When we think we're hungry, it's not just the signal in your brain. It's your gut bacteria that's sending that signal to our brain that's saying you're hungry when you really are not hungry. So it's tricking us to feed the bacteria that strives on sugars and salts and junk food, and the certain bacteria that grows and strives. So if something's telling you, bless you, if something's telling you, I want chips, I want to have a Subway, or I want to eat this, it's that gut bacteria that gets triggered, and that's what you're feeding. So when you starve that gut bacteria, it can no longer serve you in the wrong way. So you're killing those bacteria, and you're changing the brain chemistry in your mind and your gut. Everything's connected. So once you know we're not designed to eat 3 times a day. We're not meant to. We've only become so comfortable in the past 150 years to have all the grocery stores and the convenience to buy food, but we're not designed to eat this way. We're filling our bodies. We don't give our times to regulate and digest. We have to be able to digest and let it cleanse. You know, so when you cleanse yourself for 24 hours, and then you be mindful about how you're eating and what you're eating and what you buy, that will really, really change your structure, change your body fast, very fast. Naz, can you mute your audio? So there's easy steps that you could do. So with the intermittent fasting, first, go 24 hours, just don't eat. And then in that 24 hours, research how the brain and the gut work together.
Can you drink, like, obviously you can drink
water, put a little bit of salt. And the first week of doing this, you're gonna get a headache. You're gonna get hangry. You know when you get hangry and you get that headache? Yeah, so that's gonna happen. So the only way to fight through that, I fight through and I'm like, oh, fuck the water, fuck the salt. But what I actually start doing now, if I do get that way, I just drink a glass of water and I put a little bit of salt in my mouth, because some reason that helps you fill that gap. That sodium kind of helps you inflate the water molecules in your body. It kind of gets rid of that hunger feeling. But like where I was trying to go is, knowledge and information is key. When you know how your body chemistry works, and you know that eating food 3 times a day is not serving you for the better. It's actually making us fat. It's giving us inflammation. It's stressing us. It's giving us disease. I never thought food was giving us disease, but food is giving you a disease. When you feel stressed and emotional stress, it's from the food that you eat, not only from the thoughts. You know, your thoughts come from the food you eat as well. You know, when you're emotional, it's because of what you're eating. And Naz's emotions have changed drastically just by changing the milk, the bread, the sugars, the oils, everything that I have eliminated out of our life. Now she's not crying as much, stressed as much. You know, like, we all have emotional issues. I used to be very emotional. I used to cry and stress and worry about finances. And I used to go eat McDonald's and A&W and wonder why I'm depressed, wonder why I'm stressing about money, about life. Food, I'm telling you, Jessica, it's food. The food you're eating it's scientifically engineered. It's not meant or designed for nutrition. So it has a chemistry in there that is a carcinogenic that causes cancer, and it feeds the cells and the viruses and bacteria to cause a disservice in your health and your mind and your spirit. I put this
So
into
how many times a week do you do this? You do it for 24 hours, and then what?
So in the beginning, I actually do this every day now. I do it every day, but when I teach people to do this, I recommend every day. But if you don't have the willpower, I would say do it 3 times a week. 24 hours, go without eating, and when you break your fast, have something nutritious. And please don't drink juice and apple juice and pop and sodas and energy drinks, because those are killing you, but it's keeping you alive. You know, like pharmaceuticals, like doctors, they give you stuff that kill you, but it keeps you alive, but it's killing you, and then you die and you repeat the cycle, and your grandchildren will do the same thing. Everything is a suppressant. And what you want to do is you want to strive, you want to live, you want to be abundant, you want to be prosperous, you want to be spiritual, you want to be connected to source. And the only way to do this is to eliminate the things that are giving us a disservice, like our education, the commercials, the news, what's happening in our planet, you know, the false health check mark. It's all a fraud. You know, the commercials that's happening around the world that's affiliated with cancer and breast cancer. When you go on the websites of research health cancer and you see the ingredients, they are telling people that it's okay. You know, when McDonald's fund for the hospital. You know, that's a contradiction right there. Why is McDonald's promoting, like, oh my God, Happy Meals? Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Sausage egg McMuffin? Are you kidding me? What's in that? What's in that? 40% sugar, 30% sodium, 60% artificial binders, not even a percent of real meat. It's mass produced, scientifically engineered. It's not meant for your brain and your emotions. It's not providing you a service at all. I don't know. When I help clients one-on-one and I really work with them for 7 days straight, I really transform their lives. This is not something that I can do it in a video, and I'm doing it right now. I'm telling you straight up directly what people need to be doing. It's very important. And education and knowledge. Just because people say, yeah, I drink water, I barely eat, I'm good, I'm fine. You know what? They're not giving themselves any room to grow because they think they're fine.
Yeah, like I haven't ate like since last night, and I'm starving. Like, like I.
What time last night?
Probably like 8.
Okay, so just know in your heart and your body and your mind and your spirit that what you're doing is you're not really starving. It's a chemical in your brain and in your gut that's tricking your body to feel that you're hungry and that you're starving. But really, are you starving? You look healthy. You know who's starving? People in malnutrition countries around the world that are starving, that have ribs showing, that are dying every day, that don't get food, that haven't eaten for 4 days, and beg for a little piece of mud, chapati, and they eat mud. And they're grateful for eating mud.
Yeah.
So if you change the way you think and the way you feel, you're going to overcome this and surpass the way you feel. Slap those thoughts, like I said, slap those thoughts. Go drink a glass of water and be like, I got this. There's people around the world starving. I'm healthy as can be. And what I'm doing is I'm killing all those bad cells, the bad bacteria, and my body is going to utilize the fats that's in my body for energy. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're burning energy right now, and it's helping. So feel good that whatever you feel, what's happening right now, it's burning your fat for the better. And then when you break your fast, so if you ate at 8 o'clock, what time did you eat last night?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think, what did I eat or where?
When?
Like 8, yeah.
8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 p.m. So I wouldn't eat again till the next, so 8 p.m. So what would you recommend, Naz?
So, is this your first time? Okay. So I would say, this is what I would recommend, because this is what I did for myself. Because for me, change isn't easy. It should be, but it isn't, and I'm gradually working on. Actually, I'm way better off just allowing change to happen now. Before, it was like no. I need myself some time. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good word. Resistant. I started off in increments. So I started off. First, I started off at 12 hours, I believe, and then I went up. And then I went to I would go to a point where I was 26 to 28 hours where I couldn't eat because I was working so much.
And that makes me feel better. Yeah.
There you go.
So if you haven't ate since 8 p.m., 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. is already 12 hours. And we're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So add another 5. That's 17 hours. So you're almost at your 20-hour mark. So you should be very proud of yourself. First and foremost.
Yeah.
And then second thing is, if you, after this call, if you can make it to that 20-hour mark, then that's the number you should keep for at least a week. It's like exercising, right? You increase it every day, right? By each 30 minutes or half an hour, by half an hour, by an hour. But then you'll be at a point where you'll feel like 28 hours went by and you weren't even hungry. Because I was like that, and
Exactly.
Malcolm was like that at not at one point. We would feel like that sometimes here and there. And then there's days where you'll feel like, oh, it's not my 20-hour mark, and I'm starting to feel like I'm hungry. Okay, that's my mind. That's something I have to program right now. Okay, so let's change it. Let's think of, let's do something. How about clean or write in a journal, or just take your mind off of it, and then give yourself that amount of time to be able to get to that goal that you wanted to get to. If that
If you're
helps.
feeling starving, have a glass of water. Trust me, a little bit of salt in the mouth will do wonders. Try it. A little bit of salt right now, you'll be like, oh my God, you'll feel like something signaled here right away, and your hunger will go away. A little bit of salt, drink some water, and your nutrition must change. Your nutrition must change, because what you're going to do, it's like going to the gym. You know, when people go to the gym, they work out so hard for 3 hours, then they go outside and they have a burger and they have a cigarette. They just messed up everything.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it comes to your nutrition. You're doing so well, and if you break your fast and you go eat something that's not nutritious, and you have a can of pop, and you're eating your food and you have a juice, you are just going to expand your gut even more, and you're going to fill up the gut bacteria is going to strive on that, and it's just going to take you backwards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
one
so
thing
you really
you just
have
have to
to
keep in mind, from a female to another female, it's what do you want to do to your body right now?
Yeah.
Your body is saying, you're keeping me in a healthy state right now. You're giving me that chance to be able to reboot your system, where now you don't have to rely on food. You can actually rely on what's going on in the body, right? So as massage therapists, we don't need to show people that we're healthy, but we as therapists need to make sure we are mindset healthy and physically healthy. And that doesn't have to be we have to have a tight body. I mean, that will come for me, right? That's my goal. But that doesn't mean you have to have a tight body, but be healthy, be able to deal with sickness, and be able to have your mindset in a positive way, because that's also healthy too. Your mind needs to feed off of healthy things, not food. So if your mind's telling you, I'm starving, it's because that's all it wants you to do, is to eat yourself to a point where you're like, okay, now I'm full. Now, what do I do? I just fed my body when I shouldn't have. What do I do now? So am I really impacting health on my body? No. Or my spirit. I totally believe that. When there's days where I'll tell Malcolm, oh, I really feel like eating this. And he tells me right off the bat, yeah, we'll make it at home. Okay, great. That just killed that. What is that word you use? There's a word you use. It's like it's like, it's not a disease, but it's like a little bug, and it makes you want to crave those things. There was something that he.
Yeah.
Do you know what that?
Mitochondria. Yeah.
Yeah. So
mitochondria,
when I get sorry. So when I get cravings, I have to go to him. So if you get cravings, you go to him and say, yeah, I really feel like this. He'll start giving you the nasty out of the nasty out of the nasty out of it. And then you're just like, no, I can't do that to my spirit and my body. He'll remind you of the ins and outs of what they do and how they produce it and how they, I mean, we're all human. We all are used to eating the nastiness outside the world, right? And he probably does too, but he's got a more stronger willpower than I would, especially that time of the month, right?
I'll expand.
So he really reminds me a lot. So if you ever get to that point, get on the group and say, oh my God, I really need you right now, because direct message, whatever it is, to kill that bug, because it does make you want to eat that nastiness.
It's a parasite. It's a parasite.
That's what it's called.
It's a parasite that feeds on
parasite
on you. We have parasites that can feed on our emotions. We have parasites that can feed on our gut bacteria. We have parasites that feed on sugars and cells, and we have good bacteria that serves us, that fights off. It depends on the community you have. So you can either have more of a healthy, diverse community, or you can have that negative, toxic bacteria that wants to expand and grow and give you inflammation and negativity and emotions and distress. And if you feel like that, that's your gut bacteria. So you really have to change your gut bacteria, and you're going to change emotionally as well. And when you get to 3 months of doing this, then you can have a cheat meal, then you can have 1,000 calories all at once when you break your fast. But in the beginning, I would say the best way for anyone who wants to lose weight or tone or feel better or keep killing the bacteria would be, when you break your fast, you only do about 700 to 800 calories, not 1,500. I do 1,500 to 2,000 calories when I break my fast. So I can have literally three massive sandwiches or smokies or hot dogs that are healthy and homemade, and I feel good, and I can do that. That's like 2,500 calories. And when I first started, I would just have a salad. I would have some organic meat and just keep it limited on my plate, just a little bit, just to feel like I ate. But I would digest that right away, and I'd start burping, and you know your body's digesting it right away, and that's good. And then you're gonna feel hungry still, but that's good. And then do your next 20 hours and do the same thing, and you'll see when you do the mirror work and the spiritual work, and you visualize yourself and you do heavy breathing, deep breathing, core breathing, like deep breathing, you're gonna strengthen your core and your abs. And that's all I've done to get to the shape that I have right now. I was 220 pounds. So this is all that I've done. So you can do it. I mean, do you have the will to do this?
The fasting?
To do the steps, these steps.
Yeah, but I feel like the fasting is going to be the hardest thing, and that is the biggest thing.
So again, that's something that
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? It's on you. It's literally what I tell Naz, what I tell my clients. Sorry to cut you off, but this is what I do. So are you ready to make a change in your life? Is that more powerful than being stagnant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What outweighs what? Do you want to be who you are right now, continue being who you are? Does that make you happy? Are you content? If you're not content and you're sick and tired of always back and forth, choose one and go there and keep going.
Yeah.
And you can do it. You know, I send you energy and love and positivity and hope that you do this work. Just do the work. Just do the work. It's going to happen.
Like I have a little marker that I put like words on my mirror, and like just kind of like, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am healthy.
Yeah. Turn it into sentences. So what I do is I have paragraphs and sentences. I know that my spirit and my mind and source knows what I mean when I say like I am intelligent. But if you want to start saying your affirmations properly, I would recommend this. So if you say I'm beautiful, you say I am beautiful in every way, inside and out. I am beautiful in such a way that when people look at me, I exude beauty, and all they see is my beauty and my self-confidence. That's an affirmation. So when you say I am smart in such a way that when I walk past someone, they can feel my intelligence bursting out of me. People just see how smart I am, and I see it and I feel it myself. That's an affirmation. You have to turn your affirmation into sentences.
Okay.
Statements.
Okay. Perfect.
Was there anything you wanted to ask Naz or talk about, or, you know, like it's like something you're going through, I'm not in the room with you, so it's a little bit different. I'm away from you, so you probably feel more comfortable. Like I'm on a screen. Do you want to ask about something that you're going through, or you feel like detachment, or how do I surrender about emotions, or like anything? What do you want to talk about?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, emotions. It's
What do you want to work on? Like what?
well, I mean, it's 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 not a struggle, it's something that I can overcome, but I just find myself not talking myself down, absolutely not. No, that's not the right word I would use, but I guess when it comes to emotions, what I learned from the beginning was to let things go right away.
Yeah.
But gradually, when I don't see change happening, I don't let it go.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If it's
So
repetitive. So if
absolutely.
it's a repetitive thing that's happening, and I let it go, and I say, okay, it's fine, I'm gonna let it go, I'll be fine. Then it happens again, and it happens again.
Okay.
I don't do it.
I'll give you a really good example. So the same purpose you have for your health, and the same progression and the willpower you persevere through when it comes to your health and that mindset, when it comes to food, and when it comes to your nutrition, and when it comes to intermittent fasting. If you can do that with food and your health, and prolonging your fasting period, why can't you do that with your mindset? Why can't you do that with your emotions? Obviously, things are going to come up, but it's how much will and strength you have to keep persevering and moving forward until you progress. If you take yourself backwards, if you take your emotions back, you're just back to square one. So you have to have the will and the hope to keep moving forward. Have an ability inside of your spirit to say, I'm not going to allow that thought to penetrate. I know this is a process that I'm going through, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. Don't allow those things to hinder you. Just think about what you're going through right now, what you've overcome with your health, your diet, your mindset. When it comes to emotions, it's really easy for me to say. So expand a little bit more and let me get intuitive into this a little bit more, unless Anya's around.
Yeah, she's requesting me to do something. Hang on. What do you want? Well, this Peppa's right on. Peppa's on. So little things trigger me. Like maybe that's a good topic that we should talk about. Is the little things, the minute things that you could say would just upset me to a point where I would come crying, or I try not to cry and try to get over it. But it's such a little thing. So that's one thing I think that I need to work on a lot.
Yeah.
Another thing that just came into my head, sorry for jumping, but being busy, always working, and now being at home. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm always trying to take the positive out of it. Like yesterday, I sat on that what is that called, that chair that we have in the bonus room, and I would just look outside. I called Mom, right, just to kind of change my routine a little bit, instead of hopping onto the TV and putting something on, whether it's meditation, podcast, or a show, whatever. But I just find myself that I've noticed a couple of times that you even mentioned to me, that's come into my mind, is that I don't want to be the type of person that work is my life. Right now that there's a switch, like the light switch is off now, I don't get up. I mean, I get up, but I mean, I'm not getting up to be like, all right, I'm going to go hustle. And, I'm excited. I'm going to do this. I should have that same excitement just getting out of bed and be like, okay, what are we gonna do today? You know, we're home.
I'm saying, is life, being alive right now, a passion?
That's very well said. It should be.
Is
Wow,
waking up
that's
just to
really
feel,
eye-opening.
just to feel rejuvenated, just to be grateful, just to change your mindset and say, you know what, I have kids. Sometimes I wait too. I lay down until my son Arnav comes and wakes me up, says, can you feed me? I'm hungry. Can you make me toast and an egg or something? And then I get out of bed right away. But just think of something that you have a passion, a desire for. What is it? Name 3 things in your life that, besides massaging, that you have a passion for.
I actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a test to people,
Wow.
right? So this is a test to people. So, you know, I didn't have a passion, Naz. I didn't have a passion before to wake up and say, well, I'm going to do my affirmations. I didn't have a passion to say, I'm going to wake up and go in the mirror and just pray all of a sudden. Or I'm going to make a coffee. I'm going to feel good right now and raise my vibration. So you have to find something that you're sick and tired of. If you think laying down is serving you, laying down in bed is taking your brain backwards, that should be enough will to say, I'm not going to lay here. I'm going to wake up because I don't want my brain to be programmed. So we have to go through this reprogramming all over again. Do you really want to reprogram yourself all over again? All the work that you've done, do you want to go backwards? Even 2 days, 3 days, laying down till 11 o'clock or whatever time and just wanting to stay in bed, that is not doing you a service. That's not going to provide you a service. You have to wake up and say, you know what? I'm just going to be motivated. I'm going to run up, down the stairs a couple times. I'm going to do some workouts, or I'm going to make coffee. And even when I say or I bring up something that makes you emotional about what's happening in the world, and I say, get over it, you know, that those are things that, you know, you should not be worried about. You know, you have to change your programming in your mind. And I tell my clients all the time, when you have a thought, are you aware of a thought coming up, or are you not aware of a thought coming up and you just think it right away and you just say it? Or do you know, does your spirit or does your mind bring it up and it starts coming and then you feel it? How does your brain work? Explain, because everyone's brain works differently.
So, well, for example, if I was to say something and then you were to say, okay, well, don't be so emotional about it.
Yeah.
My brain tells me, why do you need to say that to me when I'm trying to bring up the emotion about it? And then I feel like you're badgering me or you're trying to tell me I'm weak.
No. See, that's what a lot of people have an issue with. And I'm glad you bring that up because it's very important. When you do so much work in your life, and when you implement that work on someone else and you see the progress and you watch them go backwards before your eyes, it's just a reminder. Okay, so for example, when you get emotional, what do you go through? What do you think about? Why do you get emotional? What do you think about? What goes on in your head?
If something comes up where I'm trying to say something and then you say you don't have to be emotional, the first thought it comes in my mind is I'm not being emotional. But then when you say that, it makes me emotional and then I become emotional.
I know. So
that's weird because I don't feel it right off the bat. Yeah.
See, that takes a lot of inner work. And I'm glad you bring it up. It just shows like it's on you. It's on you. It's really on you. Nobody else can dictate how you feel. how you feel inside. When someone else says something to you, doesn't matter if it's me, your partner, if you have emotional connection with, or someone else that brings up an emotion in you, you cannot allow how they treat you or what they feel to get you to become emotional. That just shows that you have to work on your inner strength. You have to work on your will. You have to work on, like you said it yourself. You're not working right now. You're always working, getting up to be passionate to go to work. And now that you're not working, you don't have any passion, any drive to do anything. And this is all your emotions. So I would just say, really work on your emotional detachment. Do your I am affirmations around emotions, and watch a lot of stories. Stories do wonders. So find people that are going through what you've gone through in relationships, and find people that are going through what you feel like when you were in the 9 to 5, or when you're in the corporate world, or as a massage therapist, and now you're no longer working. How did they overcome that? Search for stories. I always tell people, because I do it every day, I find stories of what I relate to. Find stories so you see that other people are overcoming it. Just find stories. I'm going to try to think of a story that for example, when I was the sole income provider, and you were pregnant and you're at home, and I remember when I wouldn't get much work, and I was working every day, and I remember there were weeks where I wouldn't get much work. So what I would do in my mind, instead of getting emotional, and instead of if you said, do something, go do this, do that, or, it's on you, you have to put out the effort to get the result, I would just change the way that I speak to myself in my mind. As soon as you start getting emotional, I would just start changing the words that I speak to myself, and I would change my spiritual talk in my head. You can either taint your spirit or you can strengthen your spirit. And what you're doing right now, unfortunately, and I hate to say it, is you're tainting your spirit. And you're doing it to yourself. You cannot blame others for how you feel inside. It's all your fault. It's all my fault. When I was feeling stressed and when someone would stress me, it's my fault. You are where you are, mindfully, emotionally, spiritually, because of yourself. And when you come to understand that, and you take ownership and accountability for your own life and your own actions, you're going to be able to overcome this. You just have to put more effort, more work. Wake up. Get out of the emotion. Wake up. Get up. Do things. Do what you normally would do, is be motivated. Get up. Do an exercise. Put on a yoga technique and do it. Do the work. Make coffee and be motivated. Make a video for massage therapy. Show people how to massage infants. Show people how to release a trigger point. Show people what they should be doing for self-care. Then you're going to come out of that, and you're going to change that old story in your own head, because you've done something empowering. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Instagram page, don't you?
Sorry?
You have an Instagram page.
Yep.
For massage? Yeah, you could land on that. It'd be fun. I've been trying to do some stuff on like angels, like not massage related, but I don't know how to change massage page to like angels.
Yeah.
So
no, I'll tell you.
Fun.
I'll give you some advice. So what's the name of your business? Jessica?
Right now, I don't really have a name.
Okay, so but you're a massage therapist, right? So come up with a name that is based around massage therapy and your passion in life, which is angels and being empathic. So come up with a logo design or a logo name and incorporate that with massage therapy. You know, a lot of people who are massage therapists, they want to incorporate angel work and spiritual healing. They incorporate Reiki and they take a class, a master class, and they incorporate it all of a sudden. You can always incorporate new skills and traits into your work life.
Yeah.
So just come up with a name, come up with a logo. And for example, say, guys, when I do a massage, I close my eyes and I think of my angels, or I say, please come and help, come and heal me, you know, and just do a tutorial and talk about what you're doing and talk about the process that you're going through and make that a part of what you do. We need more people doing this. And that's what I told Nas to do. She hasn't posted it. She hasn't made another video. She has to take accountability, and we all have to. You know, it's everything that I do is a fear. And all the best things that come out of life are after the point of fear. So what I'm doing right now was a fear, and now I'm doing it, and now it's the best thing I'm doing. Right? So when I told Nas, make a video, go downstairs, I'm gonna watch our son, you go downstairs and you make a video of how to massage our daughter. She did it, but now it becomes nothing if you do nothing with it. Now it makes you not feel good. Now it's self-sabotage. And then it creates more lack, like, you know, am I good enough? You know, yeah, but I did that, and then I get in my comfort zone, and then I'm not going to do this. Oh, yeah, you know, then you relate to something that you didn't do. So the more you do, the better you're going to become. Yeah, just push through your boundaries. Just push through your boundaries, and you'll feel so much better. And yeah, I know it sounds easy, right, coming from me, but I did the work. It's hard. I was so scared. I was so nervous, but I just did it, and it's bliss. It feels good. It feels good after, because you change your fears to excitement and love and abundance. And I got this. I'm gonna do it. Go towards the fear. Go towards the fear. Go towards your emotions. If you feel anxiety, do the opposite of it. Even though you feel the emotions inside, do the opposite of it. Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to ask or talk about? Like, I know you guys are asking things and I'm saying it so straightforward, like it's like a matter of fact that, and I know that you guys have emotions. I know we all have emotions inside, but the only thing that's going to get you past these emotions is taking action and believing in yourself, and don't allow anybody to dictate how you feel inside, whether that's your partner, your mom, your dad. Always have an innate ability of wisdom and hope and desire in you. You have willpower. You have willpower. And it took willpower for me, for someone to wish me death. If my own mother, if my own father, if my own family, my sisters can wish death on me, and I didn't take it, and I didn't take it like emotionally, you could do the same. You could do the same. Like, can I ask you, why can't you? Why can't you overcome self-sabotage? Maybe then I can penetrate a little bit deeper here. Why can't you overcome yourself self-sabotaging yourself? Why? I want to know why. What do you do?
Mindful. I'm not being mindful of it, and I'm like I don't realize I'm doing it until I've done it. So it's not. I'm not living in a mindful space. Like I'm.
Yeah.
Not,
you're doing more of lack than
like
more of
literally standing there doing that.
Not my ring.
Yeah. So what would it take for you to be more mindful and more attentive to programming your mind and reprogramming your mind? What would it take you? What do you have to do to get out of self-sabotaging yourself?
I think it is practicing self-talk and being really mindful of what I'm actually saying to myself in a day.
Yeah.
And not, like, if I can notice a trigger and be like, okay, like, normally this is how I would think about something. This has triggered me. Okay, I'm gonna sabotage it because that's what I have done. How am I gonna like interfere that section right there? And it's kind of the self-talk. And once I get better at that, it's like, then my energy
No, mama, just
will
mama.
just change.
There's a great meditation that you can do that Kyle Cease does, and I've done it before I even knew about the video that I watched. Even Dr. Joe Dispenza work. I self-healed myself before I even knew who Dr. Joe Dispenza was, or Dr. Bruce Lipton. All these spiritual healers, I didn't know who they were because I wasn't in personal growth, and I've done all the work before I knew about the work being done. So there's this meditation, and I'm only quoting the guys so they don't think that I'm stealing it or whatnot, but I've done it. So I'm going to use his words because I didn't know how to articulate it. I just kind of did it, and I can talk about what I do, but the best way to explain is to articulate the process. So when you meditate and you find yourself with thoughts coming up, don't clear your mind. Don't try to empty your mind, okay? So close your eyes and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out and relax, okay? And then what I would want you to do is allow the thoughts to come and be that space. So now you're a white light, you're an energy, you're a force field, right? You're Jessica Nolan, you're this spiritual healer, you're this powerful spiritual being, and you're the universe. You're connected to God, okay? So you're not the body, you're this spirit, okay? So now you let the thought come, and then you realize, oh my God, I'm this power, and this is a thought within my space. I'm the universe, and this self-sabotaging thought is just a little bullshit thought. And you allow it to be there, and you stay empowerment, okay? And you allow it to dissipate. You let the feelings come, but you remember who you are. You remember what you're meant to be, and you remember that you are almighty and powerful, and you let the thought disappear. And you can bring yourself to childhood, bring yourself, self-hypnotize yourself, bring yourself to when it first started happening. And when you bring yourself there, then you take your spirit and you empower that child. You empower that child. You know, I've done these visualizations for years where I would go back to the child that I was, and I cried for that child, that 4 or 5-year-old Malcolm. Have you done that, Jessica? Have you visualized that Jessica being 3 years old and saw her as this beautiful being, this beautiful child? Like, oh my God, like, I love you, and I feel sorry for what you're going to go through, but I love you, and you are of a power. You can overcome this. You can, I got you, girl. I love you, and I forgive you, and I'm going to be here for you. Have you done that?
I used to do hypnotherapy actually quite often. So and it helped a lot. Like, I found so much relief from it.
So what's changed? Why have you gone backwards?
Well, the hypnotherapist that I was seeing kind of like upped her charges. So I was like, okay.
Sorry?
Because I was seeing like an actual hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
And she upped her charges, and I was like, I can't really
upped her charges. Okay.
Yeah. And then I started doing it on YouTube, just help, like the self hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
But I found it was almost, for me, more beneficial to have somebody guide me into that state. You
know what? I'll do it for you for free. Because I've been doing it, and I can spiritually really connect. You know, there's strategic ways to do it. I don't do that. I don't hypnotize someone where they're in a trance. I can learn and educate myself how to do that. but I don't want to. But I can help you if it would help to guide you and you to kind of hypnotize yourself with the guidance. I can help you if you feel it will help. I can walk you through that process because I find it helps. I've done it for a few people. I do it for myself, and I've done it for my family. So if you want, I can do that for you if you like.
Do hypnotherapy kind of thing.
Okay?
Doing hypnotherapy.
Doing a guided intelligence, meditation, hypnotherapy, whatever you want to call it, just to help you walk you through a process of entering your inner child and forgiving. Because why do you need an outside source to do it? But if you need an outside source, I will be that source to help you.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I tried it on YouTube a couple times, and it was almost like I had to be in the setting, like in that room, like with her. I don't know.
Okay, so we can try it. Actually, we're isolating right now, so you can't come over or whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, soon I'll do that with you. I started doing that with clients that came over, and I had them sitting on the chair, and I would try different techniques. I had a few people, and I do it. It works the same because I do it for myself, and it does wonders. It's really healing and transformational. But so you need to do that work again, you're saying, because when you were doing the work, you were progressing. So what did you do? What happened in between where your progression stopped and you're kind of going backwards? Is it because it stopped?
Yeah, I stopped doing that I stopped everything.
Okay. And some people need that ongoing support. So yeah, sure. I mean, I did tell you I'll work with you. So I think what I'll do is I'll come out of this call. We'll come out of this call. I'm going to go meditate. And then you do what you have to do. And I'm going to text you or message you. And then we're going to join a call together. And I'll work with you. I'll do what I do, my guided intelligence sessions. I'll do that, what I do with clients. I'll do that with you. Okay?
Okay. Today
So,
or tomorrow?
what would you like? Would you like to do it today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow would be good because
Okay.
I was gonna do some angel card readings and that kind of thing. So.
Can I ask you a question? I wanted to ask you a question because there's a lot of people, so don't take this the wrong way. It's not like an attack or anything, but it's a direct question, okay? And let's see if you can answer it.
Okay.
So tell me, when people who do angel work and read tarot cards and psychic work and healing, tell me, how is it possible that they can do that work for others, but they are lacking themselves in personal growth and development and healing and spiritual work themselves, and they do self-sabotage and they really destruct themselves, but yet they do angel work? Can you teach me or give me an answer how that's possible?
I think it's because I've seen a lot of different. I can put other people above me almost. So it's like you kind of shut yourself out and you really tune everything with yourself out and you're only focusing on that person. It's just like giving somebody a massage. Like inside, I'm still depressed, you know? But I'm giving somebody a massage.
Exactly. You answered it. So that's exactly what people do. And I think now I kind of have a way better understanding that I heard it from you. So you put people first. That's the answer. You put people ahead of yourself, and so that really works, eh? So like if you were to heal somebody, can you heal somebody that self-sabotages themselves with angel work that you do, even though you do it yourself?
You know, I haven't really been doing it on a lot of other people. I've been doing it on myself. And this year, I actually started doing, like, officially reading angel cards for myself after I had a breakup. and
Yeah.
that break really distraught me, and
Right.
it's brought me into like healing myself. I'm able to help heal myself through
Right.
angel cards, and that's why I'm not really confident in giving other people angel card readings right now.
Okay,
Because
so once you heal yourself, then you'll heal others?
Yeah, it's kind of like I'll be healed, and then I'll be a healer.
Okay, so does that only work with self-sabotage and self-talk and what you are putting yourself through in a negative way that you're going to avoid helping others, or can you still help others so you can?
Yeah. Like it is self-talk, because I have some friends that I have read for, and they're like, you do a good job. Like, I feel like your intuition's pretty like there, and the cards are there. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, to me, it's like, okay, you believe it or you don't. And they're like, oh no, I really helped. And they're like referring people to me, and I kind of decline those people because I'm like, I don't know if I'm good enough.
It's
And
a conflict of interest kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, see, me, I would find it for myself contradicting that I'm helping somebody spiritually help with certain things in being upset or angry or something. Like, I get upset sometimes, like at my own kids, I'll get upset, right? Like, so if someone came to me and said, how do I not get upset at my kids? And I'm trying to help them, I wouldn't even go there, because I'm still learning and unfolding and becoming better. We're always growing. There's no one out there, and someone can try to tell me that, you know, they can heal people and do all this, but I think everybody's becoming better. You know, everyone's still learning and growing. Nobody's just perfect at one thing, you know? And I think I agree with you that we should all heal ourselves first before trying to heal other people in certain things. Like even Naz said, and I told her directly, I'm like, well, that's why I don't help people in certain areas. I help them with what I can help them with, right? Because I feel inside it's a conflict. I'm lying to myself.
Yeah.
Right? Do you feel that way? Like you're lying to yourself?
Yeah. I don't feel confident telling somebody, yeah, this is how you heal yourself.
Yeah.
And me still being here.
Yeah. Yeah. So with certain things, yeah.
It's also some experiences you can base, like I have come over so many humps that I'm like, I can confidently tell somebody, like, yeah,
for
like,
example,
heal, but I'm not completely healed.
Yeah.
No.
Like, for example, when I said anger, I've overcome like 110% of the anger that I had. And when I say anger, I'm not talking about anger like a burst of anger. I'm talking about like just tolerance, little tolerance here and there where we get like little bit of anxiety, like kids are running around, you're trying to do work. So what I find that I do that helps me is you go with the flow of the universe. So if anything puts you in a stressful situation, what you can do is put it down. So I put my work down and I just put them first rather than putting resistance against it. So when I put resistance, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to get work done. Oh, why can't they be quiet? I stop that now and I just stop my work and I just focus on them until I could get the work done. So I've helped myself. I've healed myself in that aspect, right? Where before I was always self-sabotaging myself. I can't get work done. I can't do anything. Oh my God, when am I ever going to do this? When am I going to accomplish that? My damn, you know, like, so I stopped that. So it's such an easy fix. And once you realize the easy fixes yourself, we can all heal ourselves. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward. I'll set up a call with you tomorrow and I'll work with you in what you want and what you're trying to overcome, and we'll talk about it more. And, you know, I feel it's kind of, what are your thoughts on two healers working together?
I think you could learn a lot from each other. Like,
yeah.
It depends too. Like, it's different stages, if that makes sense. Like, I'm younger, I'm just starting this evolution, whereas you're a little bit obviously more advanced and have been doing it longer. And this has only been like, for me to technically say I've been doing like healing work was when I started massage therapy and started getting into the angels. And
Can I
like,
tell you something?
Yes.
You are already a healer that is so skilled. So the things you have to say to yourself, see, look, a lot of people don't understand is what I'm going to tell you is what I did for myself is your experience is already there. You just haven't tapped into it yet. You don't need more experience. You have the experience. That's why Spirit is telling you what you need to be doing for others. You have it. You just have to tap into it. You have to get out of your head and say, I have the power. I have the skill set. I have the knowing. I have the energy. I have what it takes. Without ever saying, I don't have what it takes. I need to know more. I need more education. I need more knowledge. When you say that, your angels and universe, they're all one. They're all connected. You are one with them. They're just going to give you, they're going to say, your wish is my command, Jessica. I will wait till you feel you're ready. You're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
So,
and exactly that. Like, I always feel like I'm not able to do things properly because I haven't had the course. Didn't take the course.
No. And I thought the same thing because I thought everyone else needed to see that I'm accredited. I'm a therapist, or I need my mindfulness certificate, or I need my life coaching certificate. So you know what? So what? I got it. It doesn't mean anything. I have all that under my belt. I could go back to med school. I could become a doctor. It doesn't mean shit. Do you know why? Because doctors don't know shit. They're changing their professions every day. They're learning new skills because the industry, the government, the society that told you this information is a lie. It's a gimmick. You know, Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale and Carnegie Hill and all these guys that only have third grade education, how did they change the world? They changed the world. As we speak, they've changed the world. Okay? So you can change the world too. You, in this present moment in time and space is irrelevant. You can change the world right now. You can do everything that you want to do if you change the dialogue you're speaking in your head right now. Just change it to I am that I am. I'm doing it. Any thought that tells you something other than I am, or I can, or I'm optimistic, I have the willpower, I have the desire, I'm going to be a creator of my own destiny. I design the blueprint of my life. If your blueprint of your life right now is not where it is, it's only because of what you're thinking. The thoughts you think create your life and the feelings. So you have to raise with the thoughts that you think, you have to feel the feelings and the emotions with it that come along with it. So if you say, I can heal somebody that's self-sabotaging themselves. Yes, I can. Oh my God, I visualize it. It's happened. It's happening. If you picture the person you're healing being healed, it already happened in your mind. All you have to do is execute it. All you have to do is execute it. All you have to do is execute it. Everything in this world happens twice. First in your mind and your thought, and then in reality. But you have to be in emotional alignment with it. So all I have to ask you is, are you ready to change your emotions right now?
Yeah.
That's it. Just change your emotions right now. It's all in your brain. It's a chemical garbage that it's not you. That's not who you are. You know, a lot of people say, you have to be content with who you are. If you're an emotional being, be proud. I'm an emotional being. No, get that story out of your head. You have all traits at all times, at every moment in space and time right now. You can know that you have emotions, and you can know that you can break free of them. You can tap in and out of whatever you want, but you are not just emotional in a bad way. You're emotional in a way where you engage in it, and you're so powerful and aware that you can control whether or not you're going to self-sabotage, or you're going to take that emotion and build strengths out of it. It's all in your mind. It's all in your spirit, in your health. Your health has a big, when I teach, and it's on my YouTube channel, mind, body, spirit connection, you have to take that to heart. Everybody has to take that to heart, because you can't just say, I'm a healer, and forget about your health and say, I'm a healer. Oh, I didn't know that about Burger King. Really? Oh, A&W is fake chicken? Oh, Wendy's is not good? Well, okay, first of all, your mind, body, health is not connected. That's why you're lacking in many other areas.
Yeah.
So if you're growing in one area, what about the other areas, right? So connect everything to where you're at right now. So you're reading cards, you're trying to help people heal. Now, what about your body? What about your health set? What about your mindset? Now bring it all to the same level, and then start moving forward. Don't go anywhere else until you bring all that forward. So start doing this practice of the intermittent fasting, the health, and your self-talk, the mirror talk, the meditation, the guided intelligence meditation that I'm going to help you do that. And it's just, I call it that, but it's Jessica Nolan meditation. That's what it is. Just do what you have to do, and you can make it work. I'll work with you, okay? That's what I do when I work with people. Right now, it's a hard time for people. I guess not many people joined, but after the video, people start messaging, oh, where is it? I missed it. Oh, I'll join. Well, look, I put postings and those same people didn't join. People just talk, and they don't walk the walk. So I'm straight up. I'm going to tell them if they like me or don't like me, they can remove themselves from the group. But I'm telling people right now, you got to walk the walk. And I hope you join my group to walk the walk, and not just talk the talk and look at content and give a thumbs up, or just view it and not give a thumbs up. Do something with your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So you must be hungry. It's 3 o'clock. And what are you going to eat?
I have some smoothies that I like making.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds really good for your body. And the intermittent fasting is really going to fast forward. You know what you're holding most of the time in our body? It's called emotional weight. It's a blockage. And once we release those blockages, we're able to do so much. And tomorrow I'm going to talk more in depth about where it stems from, your blockages. We're going to dive in really deep, because when I talk to my clients one-on-one, and I'm not going to do it here because I'm recording it, I'm going to post it. I'm going to do that just privately. I go deep, and I really get into places where people avoid to go. And that's what we need to do to heal and grow, is to enter those places, to heal those places. So that's what we'll look forward to tomorrow, okay?
Good.
All right,
Thank you.
so you have a blessed day. And this was fun. Thank you so much for joining. And I just want to be interactive and have a mix of everything. And it was cool. I really like this. There's no genre to this. It's just like what my group says, where we can share anything and everything and be open to everything and just talk and communicate and heal each other. Just, that's what this is, right? So, all right. Have a good one, okay?
You too. Have a good day, Malcolm.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Where did I stop this?